welcome and thank you for being here. Say hello to the people that are listening right now.
Hi, everyone, and thank you, Sal, for having me.
Thank you again for taking time to be here. I know we've been trying to connect here and try to get you here, but I know you've been busy with so many things, and especially with the COVID going on, it kind of disrupts a lot of things that are happening. But luckily, we're here today, and I want you to share with our listeners a little bit about you. Give us a little background. Are you from San Antonio, or where are you originally from? Anything that you think the listeners would like to hear?
Well, I am from San Antonio, born and raised here. I grew up in the north side of San Antonio. We attended Clark High School. And after high school, I actually did the opposite of what most people do. I moved to the south side. And that is where I have, I began my work in the community, was the south side. I did graduate just recently, through COVID, thank goodness. My college major is special education. So special education is my passion. I just completed my master's, and working with special needs individuals is my heart.
So you just finished, I think, this past semester?
In May, yes.
So I bet you that was a challenge, especially with COVID, how everything has kind of changed things.
It was, and my master's actually took about 10 years to complete.
10 years.
It was a struggle getting through and getting finished. So, that last spring semester was tough, but thankfully I did get through and accomplish that.
Well, you made it. It's not sometimes where you start, but where you're going and where you're going to end up, right?
Yes.
And I know that can be a challenge, especially I know there's some people that are probably saying, man, I'm just barely in my first year, and I'm like, hey, keep pushing, keep moving forward,
Don't give up.
That's right. And you can attest to that, right? Because I know as long as it took, but you're there. You achieved your goal.
For sure.
And so with that being said, what is it, or what moved you to kind of look at, say, hey, I want to do something, or did God put that in your heart, or did you have a vision? Or I know I spoke to a young lady, I had her here about 3 weeks ago, and she was at HEB. She went for some things at the start of the COVID. And she said, I didn't believe the COVID was real. And, I just went there to get some stuff. And then I saw this individual, this older person there on a wheelchair with a lot of groceries. And I mean, as much as he could probably carry. But that was a starting point for her to say, you know what, I need to do something. I mean, I think that was a calling. I don't know if it rang her bell, or, it was like an epiphany there, or, a vision, or I don't know, but she started to act on that. And so now she went from, buying some groceries at that time, taking it to one of her neighbors. And now she's doing like 150 drop-offs, from groceries. So, I mean, I don't know what enticed you, or what led you, or what moved you to go in that direction to do, or to start this organization.
This was actually established, came to my heart in November 2016. And I don't know if I ever spoke to you about
No, I don't
the
think
whole
so.
story.
You even have a specific date then, right? You already know.
Yes. Well, actually the month and the date.
Yeah.
My mom, who is on my shirt, the video can see. My mom worked with special needs individuals all her life. And that was her career. She was a paraprofessional with Northside School District.
Okay.
And we lost her, actually. She passed away tragically in November of 2016. So, losing her physically here with us was a hard thing to handle.
Right.
And what came to my heart is, I'm going to keep her memory alive and continue, and just start serving individuals with special needs to honor her and to, like I said, keep her memory alive. It was a tough thing, but, that just what came to my heart. And it was a dream of mine. So we began that Christmas. I had connected with somebody in the South Side, and they referred several families to us, and we got some Christmas list, some Santa list, and we went ahead and, bought the gifts for the kids and delivered it to them. And just the ideas kept rolling. We began with Easter. We had an Easter event and then a back to school event. It was just, giving back, and it felt good doing it in memory of her. In the very beginning, it was, to be completely transparent, the life insurance money that, I had received is what I put into shopping and getting the supplies
that's
we
what
needed.
you're able to buy the gifts with.
And that's what, we began with. And then, when other people heard about what we're doing, some donations came in, and that just began the organization. So it was just, we
Right. And, it's tragic. I always believe, when something tragic happens, like the loss of an individual, I always believe that, even though we lost that individual or it's hard or it's painful, that something good has to come from it.
Yes, exactly.
I don't believe that people should just leave in vain or think that, that's it, it's gone. I think that, like in your case, that you wanted to keep her memory alive. And I believe that if we keep our loved ones, the memory alive somehow, some way, that I know they may not be here physically, but I think they keep living with us.
Yes.
Because I know that memory, that what we're doing or that this, what you started keeps that memory alive. And it's constantly something that reminds you of your mom and saying, hey, and I'm sure mom's looking down and saying, wow, that's awesome, Mija.
Yes.
You know what you're doing. So I'm sure it's a good thing overall. And I'm sure that's the case with this.
Yes, and it actually, helps with the healing process as well.
Exactly.
Instead of being laid up in bed and sad and depressed, I mean, it got me up and moving. It was the purpose.
And that's so true, because I know when you lose someone, it can be devastating. And I think that, I always truly believe that the purpose has to be greater than me.
Yes.
And so when we realize that, then it gives us an outlet, or it gives us a purpose, an outlook on, what, instead of me, like you said, let me sit here and feel sorry. And yes, we all grieve and all that, but at some point, I think that if we're not doing something, then we're not really honoring that individual, because now all of a sudden we decided to give up.
Yes.
And so by doing something, it not only benefits you, like you said, that was part of your healing, or part of what, you were doing to keep your mom's memory alive, but you're also affecting and helping and blessing other people.
Yes. And it also brought, my family together. I have, my family, we like to get together and do it when we're able. Of course, back in the beginning, it brought us together too, to honor our mom.
And that's a great thing especially when not only benefits you, but the whole family. It brings unity and helps not only just a single person, but the family in so many different ways. So how did you, when you thought this and you started this, what did you think, well, I'll do it for the year? Or, what was your outlook on that? Because I know a lot of times people like this young lady say, well, I'm going to do it this one time. And then all of a sudden something else kicked in, or something else like, well, let me go get groceries for 2 or more families. But how did that, because you've been doing it since 2016, right?
Yes.
So how does that, how did you look and say, I want to keep going, or I want to keep doing this?
We actually had kind of adopted Mission Road Development Center, which is a home on the south side.
Okay.
For children and adults with special needs. They live there. That's their home.
Right.
So that was the location we would take the Easter and the back to school and the Christmas events to. And we did that. But of course, my vision had always been to receive my 501c3.
Okay.
To apply for the 501c3 status. And the ultimate goal would be to open up a center to offer therapy and activities and resources to not only Mission Road, but to the community as well.
Right.
So, that's my ultimate goal. And it wasn't a one-time event. When I dream big, and I still work for it, just like with my college career,
Right.
I don't want to give up. I always want to further and to improve. So, that is my ultimate goal, is to open up a center and still provide, resources to Mission Road, but also open it up to the children in the community in the South Side and adults, because, I don't see very much activity down there for individuals with special needs.
And the need's always there. A lot of times we see needs, and we can either say, well, I'm not the kind of person that says, oh, that's so sad. It may be sad, yes, I understand. But if I can do something, why can't I act on it? Because how does it serve me to be sad or feel sorry for someone when I know that I can do something or act on it to maybe help or do something? So I think in this situation, you saw the need, and you still see the need.
Yes.
And I think that
COVID.
Well, unfortunately, yes.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about that COVID has really just kind of put a halt on a lot of things. And as we were speaking, it's like a lot of businesses have shut down. Mm-hmm. It's unfortunate, but sometimes that's a cycle of life, right? Things don't always last forever.
Yes.
Something will shut down, or something will come to an end. That's going to be an opportunity for somebody else that said, you know what, I think I'm able to do it now. And at that time, it may be the time for that individual or that person to say, I'm going to move on it right now. It may look kind of crazy for some people, but only you know what you can do and how to do it, right? And so right now it's going to be an opportunity for a lot of people to start a business because a lot of them have shut down. And so I know we were talking about that a little while ago, but, you know, sometimes I like to put the word out there because you never know. I believe God is a great God, and God knows the timing. He knows when everything needs to happen. I mean, we have to move.
Yes.
But God, we can't get we can't get in front of God or past God because, you know, before we know it, we're way in front and God's way in the back. And God says, who told you to go that far ahead, you know, without me? So it's like we'll outrun him, or we'll end up somewhere where we didn't need to be. And God says, come back here, you know, because this is where I needed you. And so right now, I don't know. I mean, there may be somebody who's listening to say, hey, you know, I have a building that maybe I can rent out, or the best thing would be maybe donate, because I know, you know, times are difficult. And the thing is that the need is there, and you would be helping someone who is helping the community.
Yes.
And God sees that. God sees what you're doing and who you help, and God will bless you as well. But if anybody is out there and maybe has a building that they're not using that would like to maybe help donate the building for a while, or maybe donate the whole building, you never know. I mean, you may not want to do anything with the building anymore. He said, just take it, because I know you're going to help with the community.
Wow.
So if that may be the case, if you're listening, hey, give her a call. Where can they reach you if maybe somebody would want to talk to you about that?
We do have a Facebook page, Rosie's Gracious Heart. And August of 2019, we did receive our 501c3 status. So every donation we receive is tax deductible.
There you go. So if you're thinking about donating,
yes,
it's a tax deduction.
Tax write-off there. And my email, of course, is rosiesgraciousheart@gmail.com. You know, I'm available anytime. I mean, I'd be happy to meet with anybody face-to-face, or, you know, share some ideas, share some dreams, because COVID did stop. We did receive a blessing of the ability to share a pantry, because what we do, the ultimate, you know, our offerings for resources were going to be clothing, food, school supplies, you know, some hygiene, you know, emergency needs that people may need. And when COVID hit, it just turned to food, because our families we were providing for, we found that once spring break was extended, they rely on that food at the school.
Right.
So they were hungry. A lot of hungry families came to us. We started delivering. We've been doing door deliveries this whole time. And we've actually opened up to more seniors now, senior citizens that are alone at home. We've been still getting referrals. We deliver monthly, and we still keep up with some fragile seniors on a weekly basis.
Okay.
So it's just, you know, we're delivering food. We're feeding the community right now. We have been put on hold for all the other activities, and you know, the location, of course, everything was put on hold. But if anyone wants to, you know, help out, or if there's any ideas.
Right. And you're going out and physically going out and delivering food, right?
Yes.
So you were talking about at the beginning of March, everything kind of got extended because they weren't sure what was happening. But a lot of times people don't realize that kids, or some of the families, their only source of meals sometimes where they get fed is at school. At
the school, yes.
And when that is shut down, it's like, okay, they don't have enough at home to begin with, so they're relying on the school. So when that gets taken away, it's like, okay, now we're really in a bind here, because we don't have enough food to feed our kids.
Yes.
And so that's where you're tapping into and saying, okay, we want to be able to help and provide some type of assistance with giving out food. So you have to realize, and I believe this, that when we invest in something good, I mean, we can invest in the stock market, which is, you take a chance, right? Whether you're going to get a return on that or not. I mean, hopefully you want a return, and it's a good return. But I think when we invest in people, or we invest in something like an organization such as yours, that, you know, the investment that we're putting in is blessing someone.
Yes.
You will receive some type of a dividend on that, because God will bless you. But you're not only that, you're helping somebody else that otherwise might not have food for that day. And if you've ever gone hungry, I mean, sometimes, you know, I don't eat for like half a day or something. I'm already hungry. I can imagine somebody that's saying, like, we're eating only once a day. So being able to have someone who, like your organization, is going out there and helping, is able to provide food, why not get behind something like that? Not only food, right? You're taking food donations, but you also take monetary donations?
Monetary, because we do shop. Some of the seniors we have, they can't cook. It's not safe for them to cook.
Oh, right.
So we get the individual heat and eat meals, or easy to open little canned goods. And, you know, along with these deliveries, we have some amazing volunteers. I mean, not only are we just taking them food, but they're also prayer and companionship.
Mm-hmm.
I have, there's a couple of volunteers that actually spend time with these seniors outside of the food delivery day. They go in and visit with them because they are alone. But all the food is prayed over. I mean, we do provide, prayer and support in, other aspects. They become like our family, pretty much.
Oh, yeah, because you go with them, and they're the only people
clients.
that you see.
Yes,
they're like,
and sometimes we're the only people that they see.
Right, exactly.
So it's just, it's a beautiful blessing all around that we're able to provide. But it is tough during this COVID because it's hard to get donations, and it's hard to, get out and have events.
Right.
Events to raise money is, hard to do.
I think that's where a lot of people have gotten hit because they rely on those fundraisers to be able to say, hey, we this is how we generate our money to be able to continue operating or to purchase the things that we need to be able to help people. And a lot of times people don't realize that they're like, well, you guys probably, they see that you may have good things or you have a lot, but it's like, it's because of gracious people or people that are donating that help provide these things. And again, if maybe you're out there and you're thinking, I want to be able, before the end of the year, because you need a tax write-off or whatever they are, a 501(c), you want to give a donation, $100, $500, $1,000, $10,000. I mean, you never know. I mean, God works in mysterious ways, and somebody may be thinking, I've been blessed and I want to bless somebody, especially something like this, what you were talking about, the seniors, which really get neglected and get left behind. And especially sometimes, unfortunately, their family members don't come and they visit them and they're all by themselves. These are the only form of contact that these people have. And not only that, but also being able to provide a meal, because like you were saying, I didn't think about that, but a lot of them can't use a stove.
They burn themselves so they can start a fire.
Exactly. So they're really relying on somebody just to bring them a meal to eat. And so if you feel that, maybe God has put that in your heart to give, absolutely. Why don't you support something great instead of going out and, you can skip what do they call it? The coffee, Starbucks coffee, a whole month or something, and donate that money. God will bring it back somehow or another. God will bless you because, God loves a cheerful giver. And it's a beautiful thing to be able to help if we can. I know that you were talking about the building, but I thought I saw in your picture on the Facebook something about a van.
Yes, we are raising funds to purchase a van because we do use our personal vehicles when we get food donations. Okay. Like the USDA. Sometimes we're blessed with those USDA food distribution boxes, and using personal vehicles to load and unload is sometimes rough and tough on our own personal vehicles. So there is a van that's being offered to us, for sale for if we can come up with $2,000, that we'll be able to purchase it and use it for the organization to pick up donations, deliver donations. Right. I mean, in the future, God willing, the COVID eases up on us, we can use it to transport our clients as well to where they need to go, or even come out and do activities. Right. It's a 15-passenger van. So, I mean, it's a good vehicle to have. And, one of my dreams is to have a vehicle and a trailer for the organization, because we do, there's donations to be picked up. It's just a lot of work,
Yeah, it is, especially if you're using your own vehicle. And, and again, what I'm hearing is that a lot of these things that you're putting into this organization or this ministry comes out of your pocket. The gas, the maintaining of the vehicles. It takes money, and a lot of people don't realize. They think, okay, well, if I give you $100, it should cover everything. It's like that, that'll get you some gas for maybe the week, but there's other, there's other things that are needed as well. And I don't know who this person is that owns the van, but maybe I'll say, God, maybe you can put it in his heart to kind of donate the van. It's a pastor. He's actually he's a pastor. It's a pastor, yes, Pastor Raul from the church, and he has it for sale. And he wants to sell it for $3,000, and he said, if you can come up with the two, then you can have it. Well, so we are Pastor Raul. I hope maybe from Journey to the Cross Church. He's amazing. That's a location where we share the pantry. Okay, so you just put him on the spot. Thank you, Sal. I'll let him know. You put him on the spot already. So, Pastor Raul, thank you so much for your donation of the van. I think God has put that in your heart. But no, whatever God tells you to do. Well, we're actually at, I think we have 350 so far. Okay. Towards it. That's good. And yes, so we're still working on, raising donations. I do have a Fiesta medal,
Fiesta was canceled, and that is one of our major fundraisers. So we
Okay.
are selling Fiesta medals as well to try and come
So
up with the
if you're
with
a
the funds.
collector, if you're a
Yes, we
collector
do have
of medals, there's a medal right there. You can't see it if you're over the radio, but
No.
we're videotaping right now. So when we do put it on, you'll be able to see the what it looks like. And that's a great thing. Again, like I said, you want to help out organizations that are really doing something for the community, and they're doing it from their heart. It's not about, hey, look at me and look what I'm doing, because a lot of times I know it can happen that, it's a photo op and people want to see, look at me, and we're giving the food to the poor and we're this and that. And it's like, you know what? Jesus never did that. I mean, yeah, he helped the poor, but it wasn't about him, saying to society, hey, look at me. Look at me. And it's not about me. It's about them. The scripture says, I came so that I can serve, not to be served. And a lot of times we get that mixed up, because it's like, you need to serve me before I serve over here. And it's not the case. It's about being humble. It's about being sincere. It's about the calling that God left us, and it says, hey, feed my poor, feed my widows, feed those that are hungry, and, clothe those that are naked. And that's the command that he gives us, so that's what we're doing. But it's not about us taking the opportunity to kind of put it out there so people can see what we're doing. It's not about that. It's about fulfilling the need and helping out where there's a need. And I think that's what your organization is doing.
Yes.
And so definitely want to get behind that, because I know it's something good that's helping the community. You never know. I mean, you might be at one time or another the recipient of this help, because you never know.
And I always tell people when because I don't post pictures of our clients. I don't take the picture of them receiving the food, because they're, already in a tough situation. But if you want to come and deliver, I'd be happy to, come along, and you can, see the sincerity that happens, the gratefulness. It's just, wow.
Yeah, and a lot of times people are, they may be embarrassed. They think, well, I'm in this situation, and they don't want to be put in that. I'm always want to be respectful of that, of course. It's not about, like I said, using them as a photo op and all that, but God knows your heart.
Yes.
God knows your heart, and he knows why you're doing what you're doing. And I believe that, God blesses sincere hearts, and I commend you on what you're doing, and I hope that God continues to bless your organization to continue to do what you're doing and just expand it. And again, if there's anybody out there that would like to contribute or like to volunteer, right? Because you're in need of volunteers as well.
Yes, we do deliver once a month. We do the larger deliveries, but weekly we do, like I said, the fragile seniors that need the weekly contact. They don't have anybody else, so we do see them weekly.
Okay. So again, if you're interested, where can they reach you? Give us out that contact number again, where they can get a hold of you.
The phone number, 210-209-0040. Text is best, because I do work full time.
Right.
So text is best, and I'll get back with you, as soon as possible. Email is rosiesgraciousheart@gmail.com. And we do have a Facebook page, Rosie's Gracious Heart.
Okay. If you want to get in touch with her, that's the contact information. Or if you want to leave her a Facebook message or text her, or, give her a call. But I think, what's your regular hours, 8 to 5, or they can contact you or whenever?
Monday through Friday.
Okay.
Monday through Friday, anytime.
So maybe on the weekend, but reach out. Definitely, you want to be a blessing to this organization, because I know they're doing something great for the community. Unfortunately, we're getting ready to come to the end of our show. I know it goes by kind of quick, because sometimes they say, well, what am I going to talk about in 25 minutes? And then
I'll talk to you all day.
Yeah, I ain't got all day, though. I mean, we can talk all day we want, but
can.
right now we have time, but unfortunately not on the radio. But thank you so much again, listeners, for tuning in and being part of our Bridging the Gap radio talk show. We're here every Saturday at 7:30 p.m. and every other Saturday, like today, at 1 o'clock and at 7:30 p.m. So tune in on KDRY, or visit our Facebook page, where you can find some of our past interviews at facebook.com/BTG Radio 1. Or we also launched up our YouTube channel at the beginning of the year. And you can just type in Bridging the Gap Radio Talk Show, and you can find us on our YouTube channel as well. If you would like to be our guest, one of our guests here on Bridging the Gap Radio, we also invite you to either message me on Facebook or email me at btgradio1@gmail.com, or you can text me directly or call me directly at area code 210-550-1966. Again, that's 210-550-1966.
This has been a Power of God production. This program has been sponsored by Last Chance Ministries and KDRY Radio.